everyone, it's Cassie and I am here with Club La La Land Crafts, and today we are going to be coloring an image from January 2019 Club Kit, first kit of this year. This is Heart Locket Marcy and she is absolutely adorable as always. If you are a member of Club La La Land Crafts, you'll be getting this stamp along with others and some dies as usual coming at you later this month. If you are not a member of Club La La Land Crafts and you would like to join, there's a link in the description below that has all of the information and can get you set up to get some fabulous stamps and dies. Okay, let's talk about what I'm doing here. I'm going with a darker skin tone today. So I'm going to base coat all of my skin in the lightest color, which is what you just saw me doing. And now I'm doing my shadows in a dark purple. I know this looks really weird right now, but I promise it will blend out beautifully. So now I'm taking my medium color and I am blending out that purple. It's already looking a lot better. And now I'm adding in the cheeks. And yes, they look ridiculous at the moment, but I promise they blend in with your lightest color when you go over everything. And see how magically they blend in and they just turn to these perfectly rosy cheeks for this darker skin tone. So now we're going to be doing the hair, and I like to throw a little bit of blue in there just so that it doesn't end up looking like it's gray hair. The blue kind of gives it a little bit more of that shiny black. So I'm just working in my second darkest color and developing the texture and the shadows, and I'll work through to my lightest. And then add in the blue. And then I'll go over all of it again, starting with my darkest color. I'm leaving some white area right now. They will get mostly filled in by the time we're finished, but I'm trying to leave some texture, some shine in the hair. I'm just kind of cruising my way through the skin and the hair fairly quickly because I want to get into coloring her shirt and focusing more on that. So we're just going to lay in that color and get it down. Okay, for the shirt, I'm going to go with a red color. I'm using a blue-green to do my shadow, and I'm using a light purple as a glaze. I'm starting with my lightest red, and I'm mapping in my shadows as well as the folds in the shirt. So like at the bottom, there's some kind of ruffles going on, as well as at the waistband where it's gathered, you would have some creases in the fabric that would give you some shadows. So once I have all of those figured out with my lightest color, I can go in with my darkest red and just follow those same lines. For the smaller creases, like at the waistband, is just little tiny lines. At the bottom of her shirt where it's more ruffled, they are triangles, but fairly elongated triangles. As I move through my reds, I will just keep extending those lines and making them a little bit wider and a little bit longer until I get through all of my colors. This first time through, I'm pretty stingy on my dark colors because I'm not sure exactly how far in I want them to go. I will be going over it again once I have that figured out so I can extend it more. But right now I'm being a little bit on the stingy side for the darker colors. So right now I'm just blending it all out with the lightest red, and it looks really bad right now, I know, but this is just our first time through. Now that we have all of that laid out, I'm going in with my blue-green to add just that extra contrast in the very darkest shadows in the creases and where her arms are kind of behind her shirt. All of those places that have super, super dark shadows to them. Now I'm going back through my reds just as I did before, but I am being a little bit more generous with my dark colors. You can see as I go over the areas where I put that blue-green, it does fade into a red. It's just a very, very dark red, which gives a lot of contrast, and that contrast is what really makes your images interesting and the coloring more dynamic. So I'm just continuing to blend through my reds. Again, I'm being more generous so that by time I get through with my R35, which is my second lightest color, I have only very small highlights left. So at this point we have a very peachy red, which is very pretty, but not what I wanted, because I wanted cooler red to complement her skin tone. So I'm glazing over the entire shirt with a light purple that will push the red towards the purple side instead of the orange side. I'll repeat the exact same process with her headband and then again with her boots. I decided to go for a black skirt, at least at this point. I will eventually end up changing it, but I'm just laying in my black by going with my darkest color, going through to my lightest color, just like usual, nothing super special. Then I'm going in with a 100 just to get that little extra contrast to the deepest shadow. To add a little bit of color contrast to this image, I decided to make her locket purple. So I'm just going in with my darkest purple and moving through to my lightest. At this point I decided that I didn't like the skirt black because it just matched her hair too much, so I just glazed it with a little bit of purple to turn it into a dark purple skirt. I'm now going through with my clear blender pen just to clean up some of the edges where I went over the line a little bit. Now I'm going to use a white gel pen to add some detailing into the outfit. Some of the stamped lines kind of got erased by the white gel pen, so I'm going to go in with a multi-liner that's Copic safe and just add back in some of those black lines that got covered up. The white dots on her headband were looking a little bit too stark, so I'm going in with a red colored pencil to soften those dots up. I'm not really pushing hard or adding a lot of color. I'm almost more scraping off a little bit of the white, but I'm using a red pencil in case any of the pencil actually transfers onto the image. As I'm scratching off, some of this white gel pen is leaving behind a little white residue dust, and I'll use a fan paintbrush just to carefully brush that off of my image. And there we have her. She's all finished and ready to be added to a card. If you are a member of Club La La Land Crafts, again, this is part of the January 2019 Club Kit. If you are not a member and you would like to become a member, there's a link in the description below. If you'd like more information on this image that's colored, you can find all of the markers and everything else listed on my blog. There's a link for that in the description below as well. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe so that you can see more videos like this in the future. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.